So initially, this particular recipe was something that I did put in a cookbook, and there's a number of recipes for smoothies that I put in there, but I was using low-fat yogurt, I was using almond milk and things like that, but at the time I'm realizing, well, if I'm using a low-fat milk, I'm increasing the sugars. If I'm using a nut milk, then I'm probably not getting as much protein as I would be getting from a full cream dairy milk. To that, blueberries. Now that I've read the notes in the front of the book, I feel like I need to wash everything. All right. I've washed the raspberries. I've just changed my mind. I'm doing a raspberry smoothie. Automatically, did you guys would have got, so people who are going through chemo, people who've gone through it, you would have gotten a handout or a leaflet of sort that says, you need to wash your vegetables. You need to not eat. Yes. Let me just read them out. Did everyone read the handout? I'm just going to quickly read through it anyway. Foods to avoid while having chemotherapy. All unpasteurized dairy products. Live or probiotic yogurt. Soft whip ice cream. That stuff's crap anyway. Soft unpasteurized cheese, example brie, camembert and feta. Blue vein cheeses, raw or only slightly cooked eggs. All types of mushrooms. Raw or undercooked meat, poultry. That's an obvious one. Ready cooked chickens from the supermarket. No one needs that stuff anyway. Smoked and cured meats. Pate, raw or undercooked fish. Make sure you cook that fish, chef. Unwashed fruits and vegetables. That's a big thing in my house too. I've become super conscious of that anyway. Unwashed lettuce leaves or spinach. Salads from salad bars. Reduced spicy foods because they can make you nauseous and for obvious reasons. So I just wanted to quickly go over that because I'm remembering to wash everything these days anyway. So now we have a raspberry smoothie. Bananas, you don't really need to wash the bananas because we take the skin off that. I guess, well, it's in here somewhere. Wait a minute, it's coming. There we go. Ta-da! Here's one I prepared earlier. So I've sort of made some assumptions too when you're going through chemo and you're probably tired, exhausted, you don't have the energy to prepare anything. And maybe you have a family member or maybe you have someone who comes in and helps do a little bit of prep or brings you a chicken soup and things like that. I feel like something like a smoothie is a really good one because if I was doing banana or a berry one, I could actually have the fruit frozen. I don't know on what level you guys are going through chemo, or do you have taste buds? Do you have energy to do this sort of stuff? So I've tried to keep everything as simple as possible, and this is your journey. So when it comes to adding flavors and things like this is where you get to add your own flair on it. And if you're tired, that's why I've made these super simple. So just throw everything in a blender when it comes to a smoothie. You need to start somewhere, right? So I do have a banana. The idea of freezing the banana is more so for texture. If you didn't have, the banana wasn't frozen, you could add some pieces of ice to it anyway. So raspberries, banana. Oh, look, I've just created a whole new recipe. I'm not really reinventing the wheel here. So maybe, Corrine, you can give us an idea why a smoothie would be a good start today.
Yeah. So Jason's just about to add his yogurt, and you're also going to put chia seeds, is that right?
I'm adding chia seeds because it's a hip new thing.
Yeah. Okay. So chia seeds are interesting because they are a hip new thing and they have some nourishing properties, but they're not a super protein source. So for this particular smoothie, go for it, add the chia seeds because they taste really awesome. Yeah. But this smoothie, I did a calculation of the nutrient analysis of the recipe. Yep. And so for what Jason's making, he serves 2. So a single serve of this smoothie as it is about 1,000 kilojoules and about 9 grams of protein. So just so you guys know, we'll talk more as the evening goes on about energy requirements and protein needs, and if any of you have already seen a dietitian, they've probably talked to you about those kinds of things. But this is a really nourishing, little powerhouse of a smoothie. If you wanted to make it a little higher in protein, you could also add in a tablespoon of nuts, almonds, or you could add some rolled oats in there.
Nuts. Oh. See, blank canvas. I can do anything.
You can do anything.
All right.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Cool. So, and this is the thing. I want you guys to be able to ask the questions. And if I don't eat almonds, can I add another nut? If I don't eat nuts, do I have to add nuts? There are other things you could probably. Oh, so if you didn't eat nuts, what other sources of protein would you add?
Oh, okay. So you've already got your dairy base here, so you can add milk powder to the protein.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So like a tablespoon of milk powder will add about 4 or 5 grams of protein.
Okay. Great. Cool. So.
About your chia seeds. What do they do? Is that flavour or what is it?
So I've used chia because I knew there was a small amount of protein. It's an insoluble fiber. And I just love the texture that it brings. So we do, at my house, we try and reduce a lot of the coffee that we drink. So we make like a mushroom tea, which you can't have because in there it says no mushrooms. But you can do juices.
It's cooked though. They can have it because it's cooked.
Oh, you can?
Yeah. It just has to be heated.
Okay, well there you go. So
Mushrooms, are you saying cooked mushrooms?
Cooked mushrooms are fine.
So you can put them in risotto and stuff like that?
Yep.
oh, risotto.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh la la. Here I am making a smoothie and someone's telling me about risotto. I thought I had to make this easy.
Mix or something like that, you just throw it all in and let it go.
Ah, look at this shameless plug. I love it. The other thing I'm adding to this is ginger. Does anyone know why I would add ginger? Apart from flavour? Anti-nausea, anti-inflammatory. Yay, I said something right. You have to be, and here's the thing, as a chef and a chef of the 21st century and social media and the things that are out there on Wikipedia and the things that people write on social media pretending to be dietitians or think they know something, it's so easy to fall into the trap of thinking, well, because I've read something, that means it's true. It's not actually. So I think it's important that your information has been proved and you work with registered people who know what they're talking about. So you have a chef who's relying on Corrine right now to make sure I'm giving you that information because it's very important that you get the right nutrition, the right nourishment now. So then this is probably the hardest part is working out how to turn it on. Voila, a smoothie. Yay, a smoothie. And chia seeds, all right? So the chia, well, actually there's a lump of chia seeds there. Now I need to... So you think chia seeds, it's probably important that you make sure you give this a good proper blend, just in case someone does go to get it. I have heard of situations where people have tried to eat a clump of chia seeds and that gets swells in your throat. It's not good. The other thing I heard too... you've got to be conscious of how much of the same thing you eat. We are such creatures of habit, we eat the same thing day in, day out, breakfast, lunch, dinner. And I grew up on the farm and we were meat and 3 veg every night of the week, but we would also eat half a loaf of bread, we'd eat white rice, white potatoes. We eat white food a lot. You need to increase the amount of colours in your diet. And I even hate the word diet, I think, because it's the first 3 letters of D-I-E and it ends in a cross. You got to think of lifestyle changes, right? Die and a cross on the end. So think of lifestyle changes. These are the things not that you're just going to go through now after having gone through chemo or going through chemo. These are lifestyle changes probably important for the rest of your life anyway. Start counting the amount of colours. There is some wonderful raspberry banana smoothie here if you'd like some. And if not, make sure you keep up your water because that's another good tip. I will leave this.
Someone take it.
That would be lovely. Thank you. Bring us out the risotto pan too, by the way.
So why is that yogurt okay and this is no...
So that particular, in the front of the handout that you've got there, so there are certain types of... Look, yogurt in Australia is all pasteurised. So the yogurt that you buy from the supermarket has been pasteurised. Sometimes if you are neutropenic then and you're on, which means that your white blood cell count's super low, which may happen at certain stages of if you're having chemotherapy, then you might be advised to avoid yogurt. And also probiotics, so like, the powders or little capsules that have probiotic, because it's a live bacterial culture that you're introducing into your body, and that's something that in that stage, if you're neutropenic, that we don't want to be happening. Okay? So we're assuming tonight that, no one here in the room is neutropenic, so it's okay.
Good spotting, because I just totally put yogurt after telling you not to have probiotic yogurt. Okay, so it's, as long as everything's pasteurised, it's taken above 67 degrees. Is that right, temperature-wise?
Yeah, 70 degrees.
70 degrees?
Yeah.
Which is done in stores, people do that before you even get to it. So much to learn.